What's up guys, it's Max Merck here, and this is the 2014 Mercedes-Benz S550 sedan. This was a completely redesigned car for 2014. Now it's almost 2017, but this car hasn't really aged at all. The new one still is pretty much identical, aside from like small cosmetic and small like features that are different. But for the 2017 model year, they're going to come out with a facelift, but that's not really going to change much. It's just going to be new headlights and maybe some new small things. But for the most part, this car is completely new, for the most part. So up front, you can see that it's finished in Obsidian Black Metallic. That's a $720 option. You've got the full LED headlights, Mercedes Intelligent Light System. Every single LED, every single light in this car is an LED. So that was a first for Mercedes with when this car first came out. So moving alongside, you do get the AMG front bumper. You get the full AMG body kit. You get the AMG side skirts, AMG rear bumper, and then moving up front, you have the big S-Class grille, which is unique to all the S-Classes, and I mean all of the luxury model Mercedeses. You got the standing star emblem. You don't really see this much anymore. All the new Mercedes have sort of gravitated towards the flat standing star emblem right there, and the big emblem right here, but they've kept it traditional with the S-Class. You've got the Distronic sensors right here inside this housing, and that allows this car to drive itself with the Distronic Plus cruise control and all the lane keeping assists and all the sensors. These are your parking sensors as well as your blind spot sensors. You've got, as I said, the big front air dams because of the AMG package. And it's a very clean, sleek, good looking car. Mercedes really hit it off with this one. So moving alongside of the car, you've got your big classic Mercedes hood. Down here you've got 19-inch AMG 5-spoke wheels. These are, as I said, 19-inch. They're 245s in the front, and in the back, when we go around, we'll check it out. You've got the AMG brakes. With the Sport package, you do get these big perforated discs, as well as the bigger caliper. And I apologize, the wheel's really dirty right now, but as I said, they're twin double 5-spoke AMG wheels. And as I said, this car comes with air. Every S-Class comes with air suspension, but this car has the magic body control. So the ABC, the active body control, and that allows the car to sense the road and level itself based on the road conditions. So moving down the car, you've got your LED power folding mirrors. I'll show you that when we unlock the car. As I said, you got your AMG side sills on the bottom, completely blacked out, and you have your nice design line running down the side of the car. And the back, you do have the same wheels. These are 275. So on the front they're 245s, in the back they're 275. So they're really wide wheels, but with this much power, with 450 horsepower, you got to have wide wheels. Moving to the back of the car, you have your AMG rear bumper, your Sport rear bumper. You have your rectangular exhaust tips. These are fake exhaust tips, so that sucks. If you look really closely, they're fake. They're built into the bumper. So that's a shame that Mercedes has sort of gravitated towards fake exhaust tips, but it is what it is. And you've got your gloss black rear bumper portion right there. Gloss black. As I said, the car's really dirty, so I apologize for that. And up to the trunk, you can get this car with the $500 optional lip spoiler, and I think that looks really nice with this car. But either way, the back of this car, I think it looks really nice. It almost looks like a Bentley. You've got the big taillight right here, full LED in the taillights. You've got your power trunk, so if I open it up, we've got our camera stuff in there. But it's power trunk. You can push the button. And it does come with a feature standard that if you kick below, it'll actually open the trunk so you can put stuff in without pushing the button. If you kick once again, it'll close itself. So that's a really convenient feature. You can get that on most Mercedes nowadays. The other side of the car, pretty much identical to the other side. So that's that. Moving towards the inside of the car, you get your standard Mercedes key. So this is the older style key. The new E-Class, as you can see in my E-Class video, does come with a new style key, but for the S-Class they haven't really implemented that yet. So you have the older style key. It's still a nice key. Nothing wrong with this key. So you have unlock, lock, panic, trunk release, and your mechanical key right there that you can insert in there to manually unlock the car. So when you unlock the car, you can do it one of two ways: with the remote, or you can push the touch sensitive button right there. It'll lock, unlock. So when you unlock the car, as I said, the power folding mirrors unfold, and these are LEDs in the mirror. And if you look really closely, there's some cameras planted around the car. There's one here, one on the other side, and then one in the front and one in the back, and that kind of stitches together a photo. Looks like a top-down view of the car. That's for your surround view system. You get a 360 camera. And you have an LED down there for at nighttime. It'll illuminate as a puddle light. So opening up, moving inside the car, on the side panel, you have full leather. This car does come with full Napa leather. That's an extra option, a couple $1,000 option. You have your burl walnut wood trim, Burmeister sound system right here. This is the standard sound system. You can get the upgraded Burmeister sound system, and that'll give you a bunch of rotating tweeters and a bigger subwoofer and stuff like that. But everything you touch is leather or soft touch plastic. And then inside here is felt lined. You have your LEDs down there. You can't really see it during the day. Cooled seats, heated seats. You can actually control the passenger seat by using this seat. You have your 3-stage memory. You have complete control over this seat. And Mercedes has kind of put a new style, a new design with this car. They've put more aluminum, more aesthetically pleasing buttons. So you have your trunk release down here. And on the inside of the car, you have full Napa leather. As you can tell, it's a different style design. It's a very big and comfortable seat. Everything's padded and cushioned. You can even control the lumbar, all of that from the command system or through these buttons right here. And looking inside of the car, you get your electronic parking brake right there, and then you have your headlight switches right here. You have your Distronic functions right here. So this is for your active steering. When you turn on Distronic right here, if you push this, it'll actually allow the car to steer itself within the lane, and this is active lane keeping assist. This will turn off your parking sensors, and this is your 360 camera. And up here you have your vents. If you push this, you can actually manually adjust all of that. To the side here, you have your turn signals, wiper functions, cruise control functions. You can actually adjust how far away you want the distance from the car in front of you. You have your power steering wheel functions, tilt, telescope, obviously for an S-Class. And you have your heated steering wheel too, so very nice features right there. Down here with the AMG package, not AMG, with the Sport package, you do get the aluminum rubber studded pedals right here, so that adds a nice sporty element to this car. Moving to the steering wheel, this is really unique to the S-Class. It's a 2-spoke steering wheel, so you get wood, leather, and all this aluminum, and I think it really looks very classy with this car. You have the stitched leather airbag cover right here. Looks very nice to look at. It looks very premium and upscale. So that's a nice thing. That's a nice feature. Not a nice feature. That's a nice design element of this car. And you do get your aluminum paddles right there, so you can actually manually shift this car. And you have your 2 LCD displays right here. They're huge LCD displays. When this car first came out, this was a really, really unique feature to this car. Everything is digital. So if I go ahead and push the buttons to turn on the ignition, everything's digital. Your parking sensors, everything's in there. And yeah, this is your, as I said, your command screen, infotainment system, as well as your speedometer, tachometer, all of that. So, as I said earlier, this is the gear selector. I have a separate video on that. All the new Mercedes have this gear selector. So I'll stop talking and actually start it up for you guys. So you can do it one of 2 ways. You can either pull this button out and insert the key, or with the start-stop button, put your foot on the brake, and we'll show you guys some exhaust footage. So now we're on the interior of the S-Class. What they've done with this car is they've completely gone away from all the buttons in the middle and the center stack with the older style Mercedes. So we already went over the driver controls right here, but up here you do get your 2 LCD displays. Up here you have if you push this, it'll actually lower the rear head restraints. So if someone's sitting in the back seat and you can't see out the back, if you push this, it'll lower them. Your rear sunshades right here, dimmer switch right here. You have your aluminum vents all throughout here, your analog clock. If you push these, you can actually manually adjust how much airflow you get. And this is your climate control system. Not gonna lie, this can get a little confusing sometimes. When I first got in this car, I couldn't figure out how to turn it off. But once you get the hang of it and learn, it's actually pretty simple to use. And here you have your ashtray, cigarette lighter, you open this up, you get your 6-disc CD changer right there, and a little phone pad. You can place your phone on top or anything on top there. And if you push that, you get your 2 cup holders in there. You can actually pull this out and store stuff in there. So let's close all that up. If you come right here, this is your infotainment system controls and your driving settings. So up here you have your adaptive seats. This will allow you to enable the massaging function, your navigation shortcut, your radio shortcut, hazard switch, your media switch, telephone shortcut, and your vehicle settings shortcut. This will power on the command system. This is your volume control. If you push it down, it'll actually mute it, and you have your eco start stop right there. You have your back button here. This is sport and eco, so what this will do is that it'll actually change the driving dynamics of the car. So sport will start the car off in first gear, eco second gear, and that's pretty self-explanatory. This is your magic body control, ABC active body control. If you push sport, it'll actually put the car into sport mode, and that'll really stiffen up the steering, the suspension, and it makes a big difference in this car. You can actually feel it. It really changes up how this car drives. If you put it in comfort, it's much more smooth, wafty, and it feels more like a boat. Don't get me wrong, it's still a quick, handles really well, but the adjustments really make a difference in this car. And up here you have your active air suspension. So if you push this, it'll actually raise the car up, and you can actually feel it raise. And moving to the center, this is your control wheel. So you control everything in the command system from this wheel right here. And if you move that down, that's your little dial pad. For 2015 and up, they actually changed this. They took this out and put the touchpad. But this is your control wheel. You can turn it left, right, up, down, in what ways, and that controls the media up there. And a really nice, cool feature right here is the center armrest. If you push this button, it'll actually open it for the driver. If you push this button, it'll actually open it for the passenger. So it's the same one. So it's a nice little piece of engineering right there. So power's right up. This is your navigation screen. It fills the entire screen. So when you're driving, that really helps when you want to be able to navigate. So if I push down, you'll get the complete menu right here. Destination, position, traffic. You have your options right here. Route settings, fast route. These are all completely configurable. Map orientation, map content, announcements. You have your traffic information right here. You need to have Sirius enabled for that. Sirius satellite radio. Vehicle position, 3D map rotation, all of that. Destination information, destination entrance, entry. You can actually go in and do an address entry. Pretty much basic Mercedes stuff. If you've driven Mercedes, this is really nothing new. It's just a new layout. So I won't go that in depth with that. If I go up, you can actually go up, do full screen, go up, another one. Get your navigation right there. You can scroll through these, drive information, compass, online map display, all of that. Moving up, you have radio. Down here you have your sound. You can completely adjust the Burmester sound system. Surround sound, balance fader, equalizer, all of that. Moving down, information for the station, wave band, AM, FM satellite, all of that. You have your search function, and if you go to options, you can actually enter a frequency manually, adjust the HD radio, all of that. If I go up here, you can actually move between HD radio, satellite radio, and all of those. Moving down one more, you have your media, and what this will allow you to do is activate your Bluetooth audio. You can actually play it from your phone. You can pick your devices, you have your options, all of those. I'll put the link to that in the description. If you go to media up there, Bluetooth audio, info on media, 6-disc CD changer, memory card, music register, all of those functions. This is your Bluetooth phone function. You can actually, it imports all of your contacts, so you can actually use the car, use voice activate, use the voice control and actually dial from there. You can actually manually input a number with this, as you can see, or you can use the scrolling wheel. You can actually check your email, not email, text messages right here. It'll read them to you when they come in. I mean, this is an S-Class. You expect all these features with this car. So if you go up even more, you can actually go browse the internet. It's pretty slow, so I wouldn't really recommend using this. but you have that feature if you want it. Vehicle settings. In vehicle settings, you have a really nice animation right there. Acoustic lock feedback, belt adjustment, automatic mirror folding, locator lighting, automatic locking, interior delay, lighting, exterior lighting delay, trunk opening restriction, ambient light color. So when this car came out, this was really innovative and new to everything. But a lot of cars nowadays have all these LED lights you can adjust. You have blue. You can't really see it during the day, but when I do my night review of this car, I'll show you guys all of that in depth. You can adjust the brightness. Right now it's on the highest. You can adjust where you want the lighting. You can have the lighting in the back, in the front, wherever. Easy entry exit. That'll actually adjust the steering wheel and the seat when you get in and out of the car. It'll move it based on your memory setting. Panel heating. So what this does is this allows all the panels of this car to be heated. So the armrests, the seats for the front and rear passengers all get heated when you turn on the heated seats. So that's a really nice feature. And that's about it for the vehicle settings. So if we back out, get the nice animations. There we go. Seat settings. In the seat settings, you do actually get all the adjustments for the seat. This seat can be adjusted in so many ways that, I mean, you can't really complain in this car. It has probably one of the most comfortable seats I've ever been in. You can adjust the backrest, sides, lumbar, shoulders. It has a massage feature, hot relaxing massage, activating massage, classic massage, mobilizing, active workout, increase or decrease intensity. You have your dynamic multi-contour seats, so if you actually turn the wheel, it'll adjust the bolsters as you corner and it'll hold you in your seat. Seat heating balance, you can adjust where you want the heated seats to be. By default, it heats the entire seat, and you can reset all of these. So that's it for your seat settings. Here you have your 360 camera. You can see it'll show a 360 degree view of the camera. You can also do a 180 view. This will show your blind spots if you want to back out of a parking spot. So we'll go to 360, and up here you can actually see you get a bunch of different settings. So this is your rear view camera. This will give you like a zoomed in photo of the back of the car, so you won't hit anything. This will show the sides. This will point backwards and show the sides of the car. So if you're backing into a spot and you don't want to hit anything, this is the same thing but for the front. So this will show the front of the car. You can actually see the wheel move. This will show the front of the car in more detail. And this is a front view camera, so if I actually move the car, it'll show where I'm moving. So that's really cool. And that's as far as it goes for vehicle settings. You have your consumption, MPG stuff, operator's manual, time, and that's a really short overview of the command system. Of course, there's a bunch of more features that you can go over, but these are the basics that you need to know if you want to drive this car. So as I said, if you push this menu right here, this will bring up your climate control settings. So I can actually adjust the temperature. Right now I've got it at 80 degrees on the right. It's quad zone. If you get the rear seating package, or no, I'm sorry, if you get the warmth and comfort package, it'll give you quad zone. So you have your climate control settings in the front, and if you look in the back right here, you have individual settings for both the passengers and the back seat. So moving back to the front, you can actually adjust all of these. You can choose the rear setting, 72 degrees. Ooh. Go down there. Rear auto. Return to front. Temperature and rear air compartment. Air distribution. Airflow. Moving back to the front, you have the same stuff. Air distribution. Airflow. Put these in auto. You can adjust the footwell settings, hot or cold air in the footwell, climate mode, diffuse, medium. I mean, this car has just endless adjustments. You can adjust pretty much whatever you want in this car. You can really customize this car and make it unique to yourself. So that pretty much sums up all the basics and everything you need to know about the command system of this car. So that's it for the interior. So now we're in the back seat of the S550, and this car is actually unique because it comes with a rear seating package. So you get a whole slew of features in the back seat of this car. So to begin with, you can actually pull this down and it's dampened. And you get an adjustable head restraint right here. It's power, but that's beside the point. If you open this up, you get a nice storage cubby right here. This is all finished in burl walnut wood. It's really nice to look at, and of course real wood. You have your cup holders right here. If you push these down, it's a nice piece of engineering. If you push these, they'll come up. Back here, you have a storage cubby. You can actually get an optional refrigerator in there. So you've got the storage compartments right here, and then you've got all your seat controls right here. So if I push this, it'll lower the shade right here. One more time, it'll open the window. The S-Class has really thick windows for the sound deadening, but if I close it, one more time, it'll actually bring up the shade. Right here I can control the panoramic roof. So as you can see up here, if I push it one more time, this will move back. And I can adjust the rear sunshade. All of these controls. You can bring it up. And here are my seat controls. So what I can do is I can adjust the headrest with these buttons. I can bring it forward, backward, up, down. I can adjust the reclining. I can bring the seat up, back, forwards, backwards, up, down. And if I push this button, this is probably one of the coolest buttons in the car. If I push this, it'll actually move this front seat forward. It takes a while, but once it's done, then it pops out this little footrest right here. So you can actually pretty much fully stretch out. I'm 5'11", around almost 6 feet. You can fully stretch out, and it's a really nice place to be. You can't complain in the backseat of this car. You do also get adjustable head restraints right here. So if I bring these out, it's like a pillow. I fall asleep back here, and you can adjust all these shades. Like I said, I can adjust this. It's a very nice place to be. And I've got a mirror up here if I want to check myself out. Really cool stuff. Down here you have your quad zone climate control. You can actually adjust the temperature settings. Your zone select, automatic, you turn it off. Here you have your 115 volt AC adapter to charge up on your stuff. And that's about it for the back of this car. But the back seat is probably, a lot of people in this car are going to be in the back seat, and it's an extremely comfortable place to be. And you've got your LED wraparound lights around here. You could fit 3 full-size adults abreast right here, and it's just a very nice place to be. Lots and lots of room, endless leg room, endless headroom. It's just a really nice place to be. What is up, guys? Now we're on the inside of the S550, and we're going to show you guys all the aspects of the driving and all the dynamics and all the different driving features and driving modes you have to play with on the S550. So first of all, to start it up, you put your foot on the brake, push the dash mounted button, it fires right up. It's a really quiet car. You have a handbrake right here, so it's an electronic handbrake. This is your gear selector. I have a separate video on how to operate the gear selector, but that's really it. Now you're in drive. So the S-Class comes with a bunch of different modes. You have Sport, Eco, and Sport and Comfort. So these are your engine and throttle settings, and these are your suspension settings. It does have air suspension. So right now it's in Eco. What Eco does is it'll start off the car in second gear. It'll shift pretty early to get you the best fuel economy as you can, and it's also really smooth. And I'm gonna show you guys right here. This shifts. It's just a really smooth, like that was a shift right there. You don't feel it, you don't hear it. It's just a very smooth driving experience. As for comfort with the suspension settings, right now this is a fairly smooth, a little bumpy road, and it's really not bad. It could be worse. But I mean, this is an S-Class. This is one of the most comfortable cars on the road, so you don't hear any exterior noise in this car. It's just probably one of the quietest cars I've ever been in. Yeah, when you accelerate, you don't hear anything. When I first got in this car, you don't hear anything. And then whenever you get into a different car, you're like, wow, this car is so loud. Because just this just skews your perspective on everything. It's such a quiet car, so smooth, everything. The first person people notice when they get in this car is how quiet and just how smooth it rides. So that's that. And in the comfort setting, the steering is extremely light, so you could literally just drive this car with a pinky. And there's videos of people driving this car with a pinky. It's just that smooth. You could literally turn it however you like. It's a very smooth car. So your other modes are sport mode for your throttle. So if I go ahead and put in sport mode for throttle, it just bumped down a gear, so it's going to stay in a lower gear than usual. It's not really having fuel economy in mind. So now if I floor it, it'll downshift instantaneously, and you don't feel that downshift. Actually, let's go over here, and starts the car off in first gear. And it shifts really quickly, and it holds shifts too. And this car, really, it's a V8. It's a 4.7 liter twin turbo V8. It has a lot of power, 449 horsepower, 515 or 516 pound-feet of torque. This is one of those cars that just kicks you back and holds you in the back of your seat. I mean, I've driven the M4, I've driven the Lexus RCF. Both are V8. One's a V8, and then the BMW's a 6 Series. This car just holds you back, whereas like the Lexus RCF, it would hold you back and then it would kind of ease off. But the twin turbos in this car, there's no turbo lag. It just pushes you in your seat and it holds you there. So there we go. That's about it for the sport mode. What you can also do is you can also put it in manual mode by pushing the paddle shifters, and you can actually manually select gears. So right now I'll put it in first, and you can kind of feel it jolt. And you can manually control it. They're aluminum paddle shifters, and to put it back into regular, you just click and hold, and you're back into the mode you were in before. And as for suspension settings, if I go ahead and put it in the sport mode, it'll turn red, and immediately, right off the bat, you can feel the steering wheel get a lot heavier. Like before, like it's harder to steer with a pinky now. I'll show you guys exactly what I mean as soon as I make this turn right here. If I put it back into comfort mode, the car just feels more like a boat. It just wafts around more. You have more steering room, you have more play with the steering wheel, and when you floor it, you can feel the car kind of lift up, and the suspension's a little more soft and wafty. It feels more like a boat. And I'll show you guys on this road right here. This road right here is a really bumpy road, so right now we're in comfort mode, so it should soak up all the bumps. Every single car I reviewed, I've brought to this road, so if you want to compare to the other cars I reviewed, just watch the videos and find the spot where I bring it to this road. I mean, it just soaks it all up. We're on a really bumpy road right now, and you feel a little vibration, but that's really it. Nothing. And right now, I'll go ahead and put it in the sport mode. It'll stiffen it up, and we'll go over the same portion. Still very comfortable, but you can obviously feel it a lot harder. Last thing you do get is air suspension that you can actually raise. So if I go ahead and push this, I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see, but if I push this right here, you'll actually see the car raise up, and from the outside it looks really bad with the suspension raised on the outside. So much wheel gap, but now the suspension's raised and you get a little more clearance. Let's lower that back down, and we'll turn around right here. I'll sport everything. I'll show you guys exactly how it handles. Right here, if I go ahead and let my foot. The brakes in this car are really good too. But this car, it just flies. It'll fly when you want it to. And that was all in sport mode. So now we're in sport mode. I'll show you guys what the difference is. You get less body roll and you get more direct steering movement. So the modes really do make a difference in this car. So let's go ahead and put it back into comfort mode for the sake of this video. As far as the steering wheel goes, you get a full wood and leather along with the aluminum accenting. It's just a really nice steering wheel to hold. You have nice 9 and 3 grips, and it's just a great driving experience. You have the full LCD. You can adjust the screen and have it. You press the home button right here, and you can select what you want it to show. You can have the navigation shown right there, but I like to have it on the speedometer. I just like a nice digital speedometer right in front of me. makes things easier. You have your dynamic cruise control mode, so if I enable cruise control, it'll actually show the lane, and you can adjust your distance from the car in front of you, and the little steering wheel will illuminate green when the steering assistant is actually activated. Over here you do have your navigation screen. This is a huge navigation screen. The new E-Class has a very similar layout as this, and it's really helpful when it comes to finding out where you want to go and just pretty much anything you ever need. It's very similar to other Mercedes command systems, but the layout is just a lot better. There's no lag. It's very silky smooth system. I mean, you can't complain. Better than iDrive, better than Audi's MMI, just best in the business when it comes to this. Down here you have your dial pad. We already went over this in the interior review, but as far as driving it goes, everything's at reach. Everything here is at reach. All the switches are at reach. Go ahead, turn right over here. And in comfort, everything. This car is just a joy to drive. It's just so smooth, so soft. Really, this car is effortless. I mean, whatever you want to do, it'll do whatever you tell it to do. I mean, people hate driving long distances and giving people rides in most cars, but in this car, I mean, you'd gladly give anyone a ride. You'd gladly go any long distance because it's just such a comfortable, nice place to be. Of course, fuel economy in this car is not the best. Let me show you guys what I've averaged for the day. Ooh, 10.6 miles to the gallon. Very bad. Yeah, as far as MPG goes, very bad. Wow, I was actually expecting better, but we've been doing mostly city driving in this car, so can't really complain. About 10.6 miles to the gallon. Yeah, eco display, it's 1%. Yeah, it's really bad. Range, 50 miles of range. I filled up this car with $20 today, and it doesn't really get you far. But I mean, you don't buy an S-Class for. If you want fuel economy, buy the S-Class hybrid, plug-in hybrid. Simple as that. Another thing I've noted with this car is that 450 horsepower in the rear-wheel drive configuration, this thing's tail will slip out whenever you want it to. I mean, you could easily just, if you floor it at any corner in comfort, sport, whatever, be prepared. Oh, especially in wet conditions, be prepared for the back end to kick out. But like I said, you have to be really careful with this car unless it's a 4MATIC. I mean, as far as that goes, all your driving controls are right here for your mirrors, your seat controls. Your passengers have the same thing. And I mean, as for driving goes, if you've ever driven an S-Class, it's really an experience unlike any other car. It's just such a serene place to be. I mean, the seats massage you. If you push a button, the seats will massage you. It's just sublime. That's the word. It's a sublime experience driving an S-Class. Luxurious. That's what it is. That's why everyone drives an S-Class. I mean, this car is even, I've never driven a 7 Series, but I've heard this car can be even sportier than the new 7 Series, yet it's also more luxurious. So, I mean, 7 Series is trying to catch up with this car through these little gimmicks like the swirly volume control, the hand gestures, but really can't go wrong with an S-Class. Especially this car, finished black on black. It's a very nice configuration. And then one last thing that you can appreciate about the interior of this car is just the quality. Everything is leather. Whatever you touch is leather. Soft touch materials, dash, stitching, real wood. I mean, the craftsmanship in this car, you can't go wrong. Same thing with the E-Class too. I've reviewed the E-Class. Everything's just very high quality. I mean, it's a Mercedes. It's an S-Class. Should I say more? It's the best or nothing. It's a really great driving experience in this car, in any Mercedes. But if you want a comfortable, powerful, spacious, I mean, in fact, this car's a spaceship. I mean, with all these lights, I'll do my night review and I'll show you guys all that, but it's just, as I said, a sublime driving experience. And I hope you guys enjoyed this portion of the S-Class review. I'll be coming back and showing you guys night review, other in-depth stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.